All right. Welcome to the Leaders and Legends podcast. Today we have Shelbi Loftin and Therese Johnson with us.
Hello.
Two other podcast hosts, the Beyond Tradition podcast. So I want to, and business owners, consultants, a lot of backstory. So I want to get to all of that. So I know that Shelbi, you have scaled a business in the trades.
Yes.
You understand real estate. You've done a lot of things in your life. Therese as well. In the construction business, we are consulting now. We have a book about financial literacy. And now we have a podcast. So I want to hear a bit about the backstory, sort of sharing your journey, so how we got to each of your current versions, version whatever 0.0 this is, right?
I don't know. I want to say like 5.0.
I was going to say at least.
We joke that we have lived like different lives.
Different lives.
At least 4 different lives at this
At
point.
least 4 different lives, for sure.
I love it.
Yeah. Where do I start? Let's see. I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. He said your name first. You have to go first.
Fine. Born and raised in Oklahoma. Athlete. Went to Oral Roberts University on a scholarship. Well, let's see. I've been with my husband since I was 18 years old. We are not high school sweethearts. I actually wouldn't give him the time of day.
Mean.
Sorry. Until after I graduated high school, but then married at 20 and started working at that point. And I thought I was going to move my way up the corporate ladder. And we talk about this a little bit too. I never had an answer for what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
Never. So
Do you now have that answer?
I don't. Although entrepreneur fits now that I look back at things. So, before we came here, so we decided, I want to say it was in 2014, I really started traveling a lot. Traveling to Florida, went a lot of different places. But I kept being genuinely bummed every time I flew home to Oklahoma from Florida. And I think it was one year, 2015 or 2016, I flew to Florida for, I think, 5 times that year. And I was like, yeah, I'm moving.
Yes. You're not going to stay.
Yeah, I'm not doing this.
Time to stay.
So I decided at that point, I'm moving to Florida. And Trevor and I have had our ups and downs. So we've been together now, what is this, 20 years? 20 years? 20 years.
2 decades.
This summer, yeah.
That's unreal to think about. But technically, this is our 18th year married. We, ups and downs. Being married is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. It requires so much work. And we were in a down spot, but I had told him, like, I'm moving to Florida. And he said, no, you're not. And I said, I am moving to Florida with or without you. Yes, I am. And he said, well, you're not going without me. And that's not why we reconciled. We reconciled well before that. But at that point, I had been with the same company for 7 years. And he had been with his for about 10 years, 10 or 11 years. But we essentially decided, okay, we're going to sell the house and just go. Because it's either now or never. Our son was 5 at the time. So in 2018, we moved to Florida. No family, no friends, no jobs. We had a little nest egg from selling the house. And we took 3 months off, essentially, which was great. But then we both got bored, which surprised me because I thought I would be fine not working. Yeah. But I got my real estate license. He got the contractor's license. We formed the business. And we both worked for other people at first. And it was April of 2019 when he said, I can't keep doing this. So in that time frame, let's see, 2018 to now, real estate wise, I was able to build that business. And I had a really great year in 2021, 2022. But then also moving full time into Loftin Plumbing in 2020.
Yeah.
So it was a lot. But we have been able to scale, like you said, from nothing, no sphere. And I remember getting so frustrated because they said, work your sphere. And I was like, I don't have a sphere.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
What is the sphere?
What is the sphere?
It's a dot.
Yeah. It's us, guys.
Yes.
But I will say I contribute to a lot of our success. I contribute a lot of our success to networking. And that's a skill But at one point in time,
networking.
I know it's a necessary skill.
Some
though.
people love it, some people hate it.
I know.
Yes. But so at one point I was working 40 hours a week, showing houses on the weekend, networking in the evenings, and then helping with admin in the back.
It's a lot
of LP. Yes, and it became to be too much. So luckily now, I think we reached 7 figures within 4 years technically, and we've been able to sustain and grow. And even 23 to 24 was a 20% revenue increase year over year. So essentially, since 2021, I've been full time with LP, and now it's the running joke that like my husband just works here. He holds the license, and then I do all the strategy, financials,
cool,
managing the people, the processes, all of that. So we just moved into a warehouse, which is so exciting.
Nice,
so exciting.
So yeah, real estate. I still do real estate, but very, very selective real estate.
Nice. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to get more into what it takes with the business side of what you're doing now. But Therese, tell me a bit about your background, the construction, and the books, and
goodness. All right, so
you have kids, all this
all the good stuff, right? Yeah. Okay, so where do I start? I guess I've been in construction or the construction industry for at least 17 years now. Grew up with contractors as my dad and my brother, and then almost all of my family members, all of the men own some sort of trades company from here to New York. And so growing up around it, getting to see seeing the sacrifices everybody had to put into everything, but then also the successes and the ups and downs through all of the crazy. So I was working for a concrete contractor here in town, and then I saw an opportunity to open an underground utilities company. So we opened an underground utilities company, ran that for 7 or 8 years, I think. I think 7 years, and then sold it off. And then I stumbled into consulting, which is what I'm doing now, because a lot of the contractors and the subcontractors that either I worked with or worked for me were like, hey, you ran a tight ship. Will you come check out our operations? Will you help us streamline our processes, get more procedures in place? So I was like, yeah, sure. And then one of the guys, he was the one who actually said it to me. He owns a landscaping company down in Venice. He's like, you should just do this. And I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Instead of going and like working, instead of going and like working for another contractor, they're like, you should just piecemeal it or whatever. And so now I've been doing that for, I think it's been 3 years. 3 years. And then the books, It started out as a pet project. It's turned into something. I just had my first book signing last weekend. It was lots of fun. Cool. And so, nice. What the first one is The Power to Prosperity. It's all about mindset, financial literacy, learning how to manage your money, basically the basics. Yeah. And so that's kind of like the guide. And then I created a self-guided journal to actually make you take those steps to start, because, you read so many entrepreneurship or like education books, and they're great, and it's like about the entrepreneur and their story and what they went through. Like mine has none of that in it. It's like straight into like, okay, like these are the steps, let's do this. Mindset. Exactly. Let's get you in the right frame of mind so you can take those steps and better your future. Cool. And then the journal, like I said, is basically makes you put it to paper, like you write in it. Yeah, it's fun.
You need that. Yeah.
So
really awesome.
That's about it.
Yeah, I love it.
That's all you get from me.
I love the short and sweet. The more
always.
detail.
Yes, this is how we are on our podcast. She's got like the grit to it, where I'm just like, oh, here are the bullet points. Yes. So
I love that. Like when I use ChatGPT, it'll tell me like the really detailed, and I'm like, can you make it more simple, please? So
yeah, exactly.
Bullet point that whole paragraph.
Yes, 100%.
Exactly.
Yes.
I love it. So tell me, from your both of your experience, like what does it take in the form of resilience, or what's it take to go and move places, build a company to 7 figures in 4 years? What's it take in the construction industry to be successful and then make a complete change and be consulting? And you've talked about this, I'm sure, on your podcast too, but what are some of the things that you feel like, I don't know if it's character, if it's values, what are the things that you feel are critical for people to really learn, embody, and do to be successful in a world that is ever changing. Like we were talking about earlier, just life. Yeah. We all live different lives, right?
For sure, 100%. Blind faith in yourself. Blind.
Like what's the saying we say in our house is too stupid to quit. So unfortunately, there's a lot of truth to that. But I think a growth mindset has to be there, and you have to be able to fail.
Yep. And get back up. After failing, you can't just fail and be like, oh, okay, it wasn't for me, I'm going back.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be like, okay, and you have to learn from those failures and take those steps.
And something I don't think a lot of people talk about, and what we try to get into on our podcast, is the nitty-gritty of things. Because what I don't see addressed across the board, we hear a lot, growth mindset, and it's your attitude, and blah, 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 yada, yada. And hustle culture. Cool.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about the mental health aspect of being an entrepreneur and how you're going to have to address all of your negative characteristics, all of your shortfalls, your everything. And if you don't address it, and if you don't address your mental health, you're not going to make it. It's going to be, we've seen so many people like get into, especially the trades.
Ugh, yeah.
And then just
it's rough.
Tumble into, there's a lot of obvious alcohol involved, but that that can lead to obviously harder, things. So addressing your mental health in therapy.
Yeah.
That's what's gotten me through it, I will say. And there is a point where you can work yourself too hard. And I learned that. So it did take me working like I did for that year to build those businesses, but that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Hustle culture is not sustainable anymore. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way because my body shut down and I was in and out of the hospital and dealing with literally stress related issues.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I feel like in the aspect of being an entrepreneur, being an athlete, like where you have to bring out the best of yourself, you have to address the worst of yourself. And it's always there, whether it's procrastination or distraction or whatever it is, right? Because to be your best, it really requires you to be the best version of yourself to really proceed forward. Whereas like you can do well and work hard in other aspects, in other careers, but you can also just sort of get by for a while,
sure,
right?
For sure. We all know plenty of people, and they live happy, wonderful lives.
That's
Entrepreneurship isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of self-awareness.
Yeah, being a pro athlete isn't either, right? It's
like, true statement.
Being a college athlete even. I was
true.
I'm good after 2 years.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that. And therapy. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Therapy.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a number of friends who have gone through a journey, and I've sort of sometimes watched them from far, but many were also close. I've just gone through the roller coaster, and the therapy was necessary and helpful, and was really and therapy coaching, like having someone else who is an expert in a certain area to help.
For sure, or even a coach. If you don't necessarily want therapy, you can get a coach, like a life coach, or even. You know what I mean? An entrepreneurship coach, anybody to help you get to that next level. And then I think it also is like this burning desire and determination within yourself.
Yeah.
Like you have to want it bad enough that you will
embrace the suck.
Yeah, you will embrace it and bleed for it.
Yeah.
And people don't like to hear that because they think it's easy. They're like, oh, look at the lifestyle you're living. And I'm like, do you see the blood, sweat, and tears that went into it?
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I made that post because I was in the Bahamas reflecting on that. We were like at my favorite spot. The boat was in the water. And I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God, this is literally everything that I've ever wanted in my whole life. And I'm here now. But then I was thinking like what I've had to go through to be here. And that was the post was if you only knew what it took to be here. Because we're talking sacrificing relationships, time, your health.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So
what's like a lesson you sort of wish you had learned earlier? If you only knew that one thing, that you feel like it would have been different, easier, I don't know, better.
You got one? I've got one.
Oh, mine goes to everything that I help contractors with.
Fair.
I wish I had the systems in place starting out, because I feel like instead of like you know what I mean? You start out, you have a little crew, you're working, you're doing all of these things, or any business, even the doctor's offices, the lawyer's offices I've worked with, you know, like you start small and you think it's just going to be us, the three of us.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, there's 7 of you. And then a year later, there's 17 of you. And then you have nothing in place, and you have basically straight chaos. Like you know you're making money because you're paying the bills every month, but you don't know what is actually going on.
Yeah.
So I think if I could go back, I would be like, all right, like learn how to do this first, like any sort of system in place. And even though it takes time and money to set it up, so worth it in the long haul. You literally how many obstacles would have you guys overcome if you had,
I mean,
you know what I mean, a little bit more in place than.
I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but that's literally what I was so good at. That we
I guess that's true.
A lot of that
true.
Into it.
Yeah.
And so, with the exception of like the handbook, but I felt that pain start in like 23, and that's when we met. And I was like, I need a handbook now. I need a handbook now. But I had done a handbook before. Previous. So.
So we're talking like operational systems, human resources systems, financial systems, you know, sales processes, you know, client process. Like
learn how to use QuickBooks before you just start throwing stuff into it. Just
Fair
take
point.
a minute and like watch a tutorial. Oh my gosh. Like we talk about this on our podcast, and I'm like,
fly by the seat of our pants.
oh my gosh. I'm like,
the CEO mentality.
I'm like, QuickBooks. I'm like, QuickBooks gives it to you.
Sorry,
no.
COO.
No, exactly. So take a moment.
You need a really good COO, CFO mentality to balance out the CEO mentality.
Yes, you do.
That's
100%.
It's just like run
Yes.
as fast as possible,
Yes.
down a hill through a wall.
While it's
Figure it out
raining.
later.
Exactly. You're like, we got
Leave
this.
the wreckage in my path and just clean it up, please. It's like everyone's like, No, I 100%, because I look at different personality traits, and I do a lot of them when I hire team members and or anybody. We just do different assessments just to get an idea, you know. And I have more of I like inventing new things and sort of just like galvanize people around those ideas. So if you're with me, you're like, I come up with a cool idea and instantaneously I got you on board. You're like, this is great. I love it. And you're like, I love it too. Yeah. And then like a little bit into it, there's like, oh, there was a hole in that idea that like we didn't see, because I just was like, let's go immediately into like, let's just run.
Yes.
And my team members need to be really discerning and like stop me and be like, hey, well, what about this like layering, you know, you know, blind spot in your idea?
To each other all the time.
Oh my God. We do balance each other well, but I think
good.
being the way that both of our personalities are, I said it the other day, I was like, this is why we're dangerous together, is because we've had this idea and now we're like, itching.
We're both sitting here. We're like, we can do this, and we don't have time. We don't have time. Either of us have for a new venture, and I'm like, but do we? We can figure it out. I'm like, I think we got this. You know?
I think. But I would probably say the biggest thing that burned me was hustle culture. And I realized that turned out to be a personality thing that I've been doing or perpetuating since high school even. Because I think back to high school and I was, you know, in class working, but still a multi-sport athlete. And then college, I was working, an athlete. I mean, I've donated plasma for groceries at that point too. But like we were always... I've always had 2 or 3 things going on at once. Even in my 30s, I was working. I would work out from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., work from 7 to 4:30, come home, dinner, kid, and then I was taking 15 hours of online classes to finish my bachelor's and selling a house, renovating and selling a house to move here. And it, like May of 2018, all of that stopped. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know how I was doing it. Yeah. But then I did it again, building the businesses. And so, of course, I crashed and burned. And so I had to learn that lesson. And the other part is really releasing the guilt around the entrepreneurial hustle culture, because you don't fit the mold. Yeah. And we talk about this again on our podcast a little bit. My brain, I am not a morning person. I forced it for a long time. I'm not a morning person. It is what it is. And I'm most productive afternoon to about I feel like my brain kicks on.
Yeah.
Right? At like 4.
Warmed up.
Yeah, I'm like, and we're ready to go. So I do my best work from like 4 to 8, which doesn't make sense to a lot of people. But for me, that is what works and works best for my body.
Yeah.
And not only that, there's also a difference in, no offense, a male entrepreneur and a female entrepreneur, just because we're
wired differently.
I don't even want to say wired. We're conditioned differently. So when we wake up, we're not.
I'm going to the gym.
I literally get so upset because I can think.
Sorry.
No, literally.
Like, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. You have to go to the gym for an hour and 15
didn't have
minutes.
To, but yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
listen, okay, so my husband, he would get up, shower, leave. That must be, and your toiletries just magically reappear for you.
Gosh.
Right? Like, that's a great life, and I'm so happy for you guys. But my mornings and my brain doesn't work. I'm waking up and I'm taking inventory, like, what do I need from the house? What do I need to do here? The dogs, are they taking care of? The kids, are they taking care
eggs?
of? You know?
Yeah.
So
who's cooking breakfast?
Groceries, this, that. And so that's what I'm like, you don't. And so I actually had to leave a space full of male entrepreneurs because my mornings are way different than your mornings.
Yeah.
Because I'm running a household on top of a business. So I think that's probably why I kick on. I'm super productive in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's because you've already gotten all the other stuff done. You need
Exactly.
time to get everything else accomplished before you can start working.
Yeah. So I think embracing that and releasing like the guilt that goes with it would be something that because I beat myself up over not being able to do that for years.
I mean, the most challenging part in life to me is time management around a lot of stuff, right? It's like we're all capable of doing all these things that are put in front of us more than likely. It's just like, can we fit it all into one day?
Yeah.
And where I really learned how bad I was at that was when I started doing 75 hard in 2020. I'm like, I'm just going to do this, and it's like the working out and the drinking the water and reading the book and other stuff, but it was also running the business and everything, and I had to fit it all in. And then as I kept doing it, I kept adding more things into my calendar, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm really bad at doing this like time management piece of it and fitting it all in. It's all possible and doable stuff, like I can do it.
Yes,
I'm just not really planning well enough.
Right.
And adjusting my calendar for it, or
exactly,
or like how I could perform it better. Like you're in the afternoon, I'm in the morning, whatever it is.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I had a good thing. Not yesterday. It was last week. I was in a conference, and it was based around like productivity. This one specific class, and I really liked. She, instead of time management, yes, that's important, and blocking and calendaring. For me, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, same.
So I do everything on my calendar.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
You guys are killing me.
But she said, instead of time management, we need to be thinking about energy management.
I agree.
Because
it's that balance.
Different and male, female. You guys cycle 24 hours. We cycle 28 days. It's different for us. I'm not going to wake up every day with the same amount of energy. It's different throughout the month. Yeah. So I have to, and especially if you add in like autoimmune diseases and stuff like that, or chronic illnesses, there are days too that, I'll wake up and I feel like death. Yeah. And those days I'm not going to be as productive as I would on a daily, on a normal basis. So it's energy management for me as well. That's super important.
I like energy management.
I like the calendar thing. If it's not on there, I will completely forget about it. More than likely.
True. Hey, that's okay. For sure. I mean,
everything. Like, did I eat lunch? Was it on my calendar? No, it wasn't. It's 4:00 now. Somehow I didn't eat lunch.
Yeah. Well, yes, I do that too. I don't eat. Yeah.
Even though I'm hungry all the time.
Yes,
like, how did I forget that? Oh, was it on my calendar?
Yeah. Exactly.
So
that's funny.
Tell me about the podcast, Beyond Tradition. What sparked it? Like, explain the sort of core philosophies and what you hope to build with it.
Yeah. Again,
both of you.
She was about to say,
what did? No, I'm not.
I know the spark because I'll never forget the spark.
I know, so say it.
Okay, so again,
I was gonna say you say the spark, and then I'll say something.
I was in a group of business owners, primarily plumbing owners, all male. I was the only female there.
Okay.
And
I would assume that like most plumbers are male.
yes, yeah, most business
like
owners,
statistically.
yes,
Yeah.
No, exactly. There's like a handful that I can think of where they're actually in running the company. So,
Actually, I never thought about it. It's true.
it is.
Especially in plumbing. I feel like plumbing and electrical.
Well, and that's what I still get it every day. They're like, "Oh, you're helping your husband's business," and I'm like, half owner.
I am an owner.
Half owner. I run it. Okay. We would not be the team that we are without him because he is an amazing plumber. 100%. Give him his flowers. But I don't know that we would.
Flowers?
I don't know that we would be where we are without the business management and strategy side of things.
Yeah.
So.
Team.
Yes.
But yeah, sitting in that meeting, I was hearing them talk about their significant others and how they would help in marketing or the books or the office. And then realizing none of their significant others were owners in any capacity. And even the main guy. And not only that, then it was coupled with, seeing their Facebook post. And it was supposed to be a funny ha-ha, but one of the guys posted about him having the best dishwasher. And I was like, that's rampant, especially in the construction and trades. And I was like, don't let me get a hold of your wives because I'm going to make sure that they're half owners, especially if they're contributing to that business. And so for me, it's really the shifting the mindset societally where the man is financially supporting the woman at home, absolutely, but also she is supporting him because he would not have the mental capacity to handle everything in this business and grow this business and live this life without that unpaid labor at home.
Sure.
So that was really the spark for me. And I know that we are a little bit different minded for women because we are so business minded and we are so financially I guess financially minded. We're loud enough that
you're loud enough. I'm just here. I'm pretty quiet.
Get the point across,
I like getting the point across. I'm just not loud about it.
Yeah.
But
so that was the spark, and I was like,
Yes.
we've got to start doing this really, like, to empower by giving knowledge and strategy and growth. And like the words to have the conversations.
because there's so many women, or even I always
It's
say the
both.
guys too,
It can happen
men
to
and
guys
women
too.
that are supporting an entrepreneur. A lot of them, I think, would like to be involved and like to understand what's going on, but it's almost like intimidation, like I don't know. It's like we've talked about this a lot, and we're hopefully building a platform where we're giving enough resources where the spouse or partner, whatever, can step in and ask the questions and feel comfortable enough to get a conversation sparked or started.
Yeah.
And I know I know multiple friends where their husbands owned a trade business or any business, not just trades, but a business, and they're working for free in the office because they're helping their husband. It's their livelihood, like you're a team. It's great. It's wonderful. And they have no stake in it. And then all of a sudden,
Something happens.
something happens, or we go through a midlife crisis and we're decided that there's someone sparkly and prettier or something. And then the wife is standing there she doesn't own the business. She has no income. You know what I mean? Yes, she has work experience, but
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Nothing
financial in place, especially if you don't have your fingers in it with your partner. I mean, I love, and I have great respect for people that have blind faith in one another. But I think that you still need to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not even protection. It's just having a stake in the game. Is that the expression? What's the expression?
We always say protect your future financial self. Like, think of your future financial self. And for me, this is probably, again, lack of faith in people, but also
You're not supposed to say that out loud.
sorry, but it is a protection
There it is.
mechanism.
There it is, guys.
There it is.
I'm sorry, but I plan for all possible outcomes, right?
Yeah,
and it's like, what is going to happen? And
because you never know. I mean, things change on a dime. I'm sure you've experienced it as well. Like you think you know someone, you think you know a situation, and
But people change.
Things change.
people do change. Exactly.
People change.
never know in
Things
life.
change.
Mhm.
Things happen.
Most of my business is preparing for the worst, so you can
Yeah.
do the things that
Exactly.
you're best,
So
right?
so you
Exactly.
get it 100%. So
Yeah.
but again, we're hoping we
the
can
hardest
give
conversation.
enough education, support, resources, anything where anybody who just wants to know,
Yeah.
or even new entrepreneurs that are like,
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
where should I start? We're hoping that we can get enough information out there.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks. Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We're trying.
We're trying.
Say anything else? Just keep doing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
For sure.
Even if like one person heard it
Yeah.
so far,
We'll
it's
take
like
it,
a big.
yeah.
That could be a big.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was talking with another one of my friends who actually came on a podcast because we're friends, and I was like, hey, like you got to come on here. You have a business. You should talk. And he's like, I've always just said no, about doing things. And I'm like, well, what if somebody hears your story and is back in the country where he's from and like realizes, oh my God, like I could do what he did,
Mm-hmm.
and that could be one person that could change a lot. Like he has a business now with hundreds of employees.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've touched hundreds of lives,
Yeah.
not only hundreds of lives employed, but like how about the who knows, million that have like gone through your doors and
Right.
right. So, there's a lot to be said about that. So you just never know like who's
Yeah.
going to hear something
True.
or see something
I
or
think that's how you convinced me, like to like really step into this.
Yeah.
You're like, think of all the people we can help.
and the
I'm like,
books,
okay.
right? And the same
Well,
thing
yeah,
with the
the
books.
books for sure.
Yeah.
Well, someone
Definitely.
could pick that up and read
Yeah.
that and like completely change their life. So,
Right.
it's just about putting it out there, which is
For
great.
sure.
What are so in consulting in these businesses, you're touching a lot of different companies, I assume,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
What are you seeing as the main, in your experience, because you work with a lot of people too, and you're in real estate, talk to a lot of people about their issues. What are you seeing as like sort of the main sort of dilemmas people are experiencing right now when they're, in their business or experiencing change? Like what's going on now?
The biggest, and it's only standing out at this moment because it's constant. It's literally been across the board since the beginning of this year. Every new contractor, old contractor, any business that I've worked with, it's the employee management. It's getting employees to take pride in their work. It's getting employees to show up every day. It's getting them to just stick to the company standards. Yeah, you're laughing because you were one of so it's one of those
battle.
yeah, but you know
Yeah.
what I mean. So it's the daily battle, and I feel like that is the most, like the biggest struggle almost all business owners face, is finding people they can trust and finding people that like want to be there and work.
Yeah. So what is that? Like it's the lack of engagement in
Yeah.
their career
And trades, there's not a lot
they're-
of young people coming
Yeah.
into trades anymore. And a lot of these guys are hitting these points. They can't do the trades anymore. You know what I mean? So we're in this weird lull where
Yeah.
I think it's hard to find quality.
Is it going from like, oh, this is my trade, it's a pride, to this is a job, it's money?
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like it was, I work with contractors that are in their 50s, and they're like, this wasn't like this back when I was younger. Like, we all wanted to be here. We all wanted to build something. We loved our jobs. We had integrity. You know what I mean? Like, we're building things where now it's just a paycheck for people.
It is.
Yeah.
And for us, it's getting new talent in.
Yeah.
Exactly. No one wants to do it.
No. And you have to pay more. And I know that Trevor even struggles
Sure.
with that because he's like, $20 an hour for no experience? And I was like,
That's base. I mean,
that's
Yeah.
even then too. That's
Yes.
almost not enough because they
Yeah.
could go do something less strenuous, less technical
Yeah.
for $2 or $3 less an hour. So it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
so,
What do you think? Like, what are the things that we need to do better to help maybe attract better people, keep better people, engage people? Like, what are those things? Like, what are you experiencing in your businesses you're touching?
it's the attitude of the leader. It kind of falls back to at least in my opinion, you know what I mean? Where the leader of the company or the leader of the employees, they need to have the right attitude. They need to be willing to talk to them, have engaging conversations, and see if they can help see where they're at, see what they want, and help grow. Because I feel like when employees feel like they have room to grow, room to learn, room to move forward or higher up in a company, they give a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so especially if they have the opportunity for training like you do, you know what I mean? Like you can go get a different license or a certificate, you know what I mean? Not necessarily that you have to spend the money for it, but even just to host like leadership, you know, a little leadership toolbox talk, anything, you know what I mean? I feel like that could definitely change the game. But that takes a lot of self-awareness as the leader, because again, most entrepreneurs, they don't have time or the desire, you know what I mean? So it's definitely, it's a tricky balance.
Yeah. Is it like safe to assume that in the trades, there's a lot of focus as a business owner on, I know my trade, I'm going to do my trade, I'm going to hire a bunch of people to sort of like do the trade, but not necessarily a lot of like leadership coaching experience and like managing a people. Just sort of like, and all of a sudden you're in here like, oh no, I have 50 people now, but I've never learned about EQ or something, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. Literally.
Your assumption is
funny,
on point.
Not funny, but yes, that's one of the biggest.
I don't want to stereotype, but like I just feel like there's probably opportunity, right?
True. Yes. And that's what I was joking the other day. Somebody said I need, because I'm working on writing books, right? As a hobby. And somebody said you need to write a plumbing romance. And I said, oh gosh. But then I said, a blue collar man with emotional intelligence is a fantasy.
My God.
You're right. But no, and that's why I think
that clip's gonna haunt you forever.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I don't care.
Can I have that clip after this, please?
Go viral in the plumbing community.
Oh my gosh.
Well, but I have seen it firsthand, and I will say that, you know, I run our business a lot differently than any other plumbing company, and that's because we're people over profit. My guys are actual humans to me, not cogs in the wheel. Yeah. So, you know, I take care of them in a lot of ways that other people don't.
You do. Ooh. For sure.
But then on the flip side of that, I tell them when they come to work for me, I'm going to challenge you personally to grow. And emotionally to grow, not just in your trade, but as a whole human, financially, emotionally, spiritually, across the board. I'm going to challenge you, and it's not fun. And you're not going to like me sometimes, because I'm going to require you to grow up and be a human, or be an adult is what I tell them a lot. And like, it takes a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
But I've been able to see it with a couple of my guys and how they just grow and are able to take on more and handle more, and they're responding better, and their lives at home are getting better, and it's worth it. But yes, now there has to be a focus on those soft skills. As employers, we still have to be, we're not just teaching them trades anymore. Right. We're teaching them how to have conversations, how to have the hard conversations without blowing up and walking off, or, you know, there's a lot of, and how to be a leader.
Throw the wrench and leave.
Right. There's not, right. And everybody digs. So a big thing at us, at our company, is everybody digs. Even Trevor gets in the hole and digs. And I've lost 2 guys because of that mindset, and we're upfront about it. I don't care that you've been in the trade 10 years. I don't care.
You're gonna dig.
You're going to dig just like everybody else is going to dig. And that is different. And a lot of guys can't handle it. And they'll say they can handle it.
Right.
Until they're out there.
Until they're in there and they got to do it.
Yeah. And then they're like, no.
You're opting out of the culture.
You are. And that's our culture. And that's what Trevor, the last guy that did it, he goes, I just have all this experience and you got me in a hole digging. And Trevor looked at him and said, do you want me to do it? Because Trevor will get in there and dig just like everybody else. And so that's a big thing. But being able to do that, I've retained. Retained almost all. I think I've lost two or three people.
And that's okay, because it's people that
one moved too. So
one moved, one is moving.
I was gonna say that doesn't really count.
And then 2 could not handle checking their egos. So
that's cool.
They're gone.
Yeah, you want people that are humble and can have the confidence, but also like humble confidence is one of the things we talk about in our firm. It's like you are confident in the work you do, and you know you can do it well, but you're not arrogant, and you're humble enough to do that, like get in the trench and lead from the front. Like even as an owner, like just being in there and like, I'm doing this, so like why wouldn't you do it?
Exactly.
Like,
right. Yeah.
Man, who was that? I'm trying to think who Tyler Perry was saying that he's done everything, including mop the floors. So he knows in his studio like what it takes to do something. And it's like, I mop the floors. I know it takes 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've done it. I'm not asking you to do something I wouldn't do in my own business.
Right.
Yeah. That's the greatest stance you can probably take.
And I really like servant leadership too. So it's like, we're here to take care of our guys.
But I do like the level setting up front about, hey, look, we're going to challenge you in all these areas to be better. And if you're better in all these areas, you're going to exceed, and obviously in the business, right? Because you're not going to let yourself be like a crappy employee if you're getting better in other parts of your life.
True.
But I can also come after you and challenge you later on. And I think the biggest mistake people bring is like, oh no, like come on board, and then later on they're like, oh, I'm gonna start being hard on this person. It's like, well, you didn't level set up front that what type of environment you were coming into, coach brings
up front. Exactly.
You probably never joined a team where for sports where it's like, okay, like come on, and then all of a sudden, oh wow, I didn't know we were going to be doing like suicides all day on the field, right? It's like, I sort of expected we were going to do suicids. So
do not miss those
right?
days.
PTSD. Oh my PTSD.
I remember I was late one day to a tennis match in high school, and not even like more than 2 minutes, and my coach was never hard on us. And then one day he's like, "You guys are just gonna run wind sprints on the court back and forth the whole time." Me and my buddy Harrison are like, "Sorry, what?"
Yeah. Sorry, no, that's not why I'm in tennis.
Yes, we're doing that.
That's
now.
the last reason I'm in
he was
tennis.
so mad at me too because I made him late. I was hungry. I was having a snack. I'm like, I made him late. He's like, I hate you.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
So, what are some things that you might? I know you're talking about it in podcast every day, but what are some things that you might suggest to somebody who's getting started, maybe leaving even high school, going to college, maybe leaving college, going to their first career, or if you were to look back at your younger self, even in your 20s or before then, like what is a tidbit you would leave them or tell them that they should be thinking about? Maybe they're not ready to receive it yet, but maybe
Mine is really unhinged, but
I love it. You do unhinged, and then I'm chill.
Her and I think, okay, so let me just preface this and say, I think education is very important and you should be educated. I don't think you should put yourself in debt and take on loans because you have to go to college at 18. So my biggest thing would be to figure out and really think about who you are as a person, even though that changes. Like your frontal lobe doesn't even develop until you're 25.
Yeah.
So really think about what you're going to do. And I've told my son, I don't expect you to go to college immediately unless it's something that requires that degree. And then we can talk about it and move from there. But if I were looking back at my younger self, I would have told myself to invest in probably Amazon. and listen to Bitcoin.
And take as many loans as possible and just buy houses.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Buy real estate.
No, but I think about how I was never given the advice or never had real life examples of entrepreneurs and successful ones. I was always fed the line that that's not real and people don't live actual lives like that. Like you have to go to college and you have to get a job and you have to work up the corporate ladder and then you get your retirement and go, and you don't have to. Yeah. So that would be mine.
I like it. Mine's kind of on the same field. I would tell anybody who has any sort of feeling or just that want, write it down, write a goal, and then work backwards. Creatively think about how you can accomplish this, whether it's working 4 jobs to save up enough money to buy a piece of equipment, or you know what I mean? Whatever it is, start out, write those goals, give yourself a date, and you know what I mean? And really try to work backwards from there. And then again, once you take those tangible steps, you can actually start. So if they're young enough where they just don't just dive into, or if they're not, special, where we're like, yeah, we can do it. You know what I mean? But if you're dragging your feet a little, just write it down. It's probably one of the biggest things I tell somebody.
Yeah. And so I do this exercise where sometimes with myself, but it's been a while. I probably should do it again. But with people who aren't really sure, like I'll ask questions when I'm doing work with them, like, what do we want to accomplish in the next 10 years? And they'll start giving me all like these things that aren't really like the big picture. They'll start talking like the small stuff.
Yes.
That's sort of like, well, that sort of plugs into a big picture that you haven't sort of painted for me yet. So how do we know?
Yeah.
And I'll just sort of say, hey, well, I'm going to be silent for about 10 minutes here. And I'm just going to, the one question I want you to answer by writing down, or I'll write it down, is what do you want? And like, that could be anything from like, you want a candy bar to you want to solve world peace. But
Yes.
I'm going to spend here 10 minutes. And 10 minutes, it's actually a lot longer when it's silent.
Yes.
And I'll just write down
Hear it
all those
clicking.
things. Yeah. And, you know, some people, you'll get like 3 or 4 pages of things. And
Yes.
I'm like, all right, let's go through that now and label them like 1 to 10. Like,
Exactly. You prioritize that
let's
list.
figure out like which one of these is, and anything that's like a 7-up, let's look at those, and then we get down to 3, and then, you know, really hammer down on this, because without putting it on paper, it's just a wish. Right.
Which wishes are great, but again, if you want to actually have that wish, you have to do something about it.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, I know. And that really helps drive your decision making day to day, just because same thing. I really thought about, what do I want my life to look like in 10 years? Well, it's not being here in the United States. So I want to be able to live abroad. And I can't do that in real estate.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could still be a referral agent. I could still do that. But I got to have boots on the ground here.
Yeah.
So what does that look like as far as passive income goes now? So that's really what's helping me like make those decisions on a daily basis of what to focus on.
Yeah.
And what to build.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, where can everybody find you? Your businesses, the podcast, social channels, websites, what?
Everywhere. BeyondTraditionPodcast.com.
Okay.
That's for the podcast. And then it does have our links to other things. And then I'm Shelbi Loftin on Facebook, and I will have a link where you can go find everything about me. You can find the podcast, the plumbing company, the real estate site, the audiobook narration, the author page, my dog, Walter.
Oh, Walter.
Yes.
Walter has more subscribers than us combined.
I love it so much. He's so cute.
He's up to like 5,000 followers on
love
YouTube.
I love it.
Wow.
And almost 5,000 on TikTok. So it's just ridiculous.
Oh my God,
but
Walter.
he's a star.
What a name.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Me, I am not that easy to find because I do not make it easy. Apparently, I need to do one of these links where you can find everything. But nope, if you want me, you have to search for it. So is what it is.
Follow me and you will
Oh my
find her.
You'll find Therese.
Right. Okay. So my links are on our podcast page.
Yeah.
And then
And I saw your books are through there too.
yeah, everything's through there. So my pen name is TJ Hill because Therese Johnson is too much of a mouthful. And so, right?
There's a joke there.
Oh no. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Sorry.
But yeah, so TJ Hill is my pen name, and then TKN Consulting. I'm on Instagram or just tknconsult.com.
TKNconsult.com. Cool.
Super easy.
Well, I love it. Appreciate you both coming on and
Yeah,
talking
thank
about
you.
business.
Yeah, thanks
and
for having
life
us.
and
This is
everything.
great.
Yeah,
This has
thanks
been
so
awesome.
much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.